tonight we are going to tell you a real creepy story that made its way on the internet not that long ago about a young woman named Katelyn Ann Restin,
Okay.
who was a 19-year-old woman from Virginia Beach.
Okay.
This all went down in 2020. In 2020, Caitlin started to get into voodoo.
Okay.
She started to research and dabble into the practice of voodoo,
Right.
which was a little uncharacteristic, a little out of the ordinary because she was a white girl.
Okay.
Not really the culture. You know what I mean? And, it's not about you being white, it's about you getting into something that is not of your culture
Yeah.
is a little more dangerous because you don't have people around you to guide you the right way.
I don't
You
know
know,
exactly what you're doing. Like you
I've grown up around stuff like I was talking about the Botanica, and I had a lot of good people around me that I kind of knew what to do, what not to do, but when you're getting into something you don't grow up around, that's not of your culture, it gets a little hairy. Am I wrong? Am I wrong on this?
no, you're completely right. I feel like it definitely has to do with your knowledge that leads to confidence in your protection, basically. I feel like if of course if you're a white girl who grew up with that because that's what you were
Yeah,
surrounded,
if it's your, yeah, exactly.
but
But
like you
I'm
said,
not gonna dabble into ancient Chinese magic anytime soon. I don't fucking know nothing about that. You know what I
right,
mean?
it's like not it's not what you're familiar with at all.
Yeah, and you don't have that community.
Yes.
So she was going to find that community one way or the other. And as many do, they go online. They
Mhm.
go on Facebook, which sucks. Fuck
Okay.
Facebook.
Yeah.
But she goes on Facebook on pages about voodoo and she starts to comment. And one of her first comments was
Yeah.
we have receipts on a lot of this stuff that we're going to talk about, which I will also send you, Electra. The one receipt we don't have is this comment right here that I have not seen this in my research.
Okay.
So apparently, Caitlin goes on this voodoo Facebook and she says something to the effect of, should I put a hex on my ex girlfriend?
Oh my God.
Now, when she started to get into this community, a lot of people were like, do not fuck with this. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Stay out of this, right?
Right.
But Caitlin did not listen. She will not be deterred. On March 29th, 2020, Caitlin dropped a tweet. This
Okay.
tweet says, let people live and have their own religion. If someone is into different stuff, stop saying, no, you come from God. I'm a Wiccan and will always be, so shut up and let me be.
Uh,
Number one, the odd thing about this is you're getting into voodoo, you're not a Wiccan.
yes.
That's way different. That's actually probably where she should be. That's the white girl shit.
Yeah.
Go on the witch talk. Don't go on voodoo talk. You know what I mean? You don't go
Yeah.
on the voodoo. You should be with the witches. You know what I mean? So that's what she puts up. But as you can see here, she also put up three pictures.
Yeah.
Pictures of her burning a voodoo doll. Yeah, not good. Not a good thing to be doing.
Is the voodoo of her ex? Like, who is this girl that she's
Nobody knows for sure, but I mean, hey, we can imagine, right? Who else would it be? About a month later, April 17th, Caitlin posts on Facebook. She says, I seen Papa Legba today. I'm scared.
Oh,
Now let's rewind a little bit. Let's pause
okay.
and let's discuss what she's talking about. Papa Legba is a spirit in voodoo practice, in voodoo culture, a specific spirit. A lot of practices. Same
Mhm.
thing with Santeria and things of that nature. Even religions, they all have saints and spirits, right? You know, Saint Michael and all this stuff. Voodoo is no different. They have one spirit, notorious, Papa Legba, who is apparently the gatekeeper between the spirit world and the human world. He's the go between. He speaks many languages and he kind of decides whether you're going to talk to spirits, whether you're not going to talk to spirits, so on and so forth, right? So, using context clues, ladies and gentlemen, it looks as if Katelyn was probably looking to said spirit,
Right.
looking for some information, looking to curse somebody, looking for some kind of favor, most likely, because that's why most people go to these spirits is for favors. I need this, I need a new job, I need to put a hex on this guy. So she goes on Facebook and she said that she saw that spirit and she is afraid. 3 days later, and she is confirmed deceased because I saw her obituary while I was doing the research. She is dead.
Yeah.
3 days after saying that, after
Yeah.
going on Facebook and posting that, she was found deceased in her bathtub. I have not found anything about the cause of death,
Oh,
but
good. Okay.
she is gone. She is dead.
Oh, wow.
3 days after posting that. Coincidence? We'll never truly know. But it is very creepy, you know. And I believe there is coincidences in this world, but I don't believe there's many.
I don't, yeah, I don't believe that either. Holy shit, really want to know how she died. I can't even believe that.
Me too. I'm gonna see if I can do more digging, but the digging I've done, I have not seen any particular cause of death, and it is very spooky, very creepy. This is I'm going to say right now, this is one of the creepiest stories I ever heard because
Yeah,
most things you hear, there's no receipts, right? There's no, I mean, there's a couple creepy pastas or stories where they create receipts and stuff like that. But this girl is officially dead. We have the obituary. We have her Facebook post. This is not like a Dear David situation where it's just one guy posting and then you find out you find out it's a creepy pasta or it's a fake story. This is legit. I've been hearing about this for years. We have the post. It's insane, bro. And this is just another cautionary tale as to, to not mess with stuff you do not know about. What do you think of this?
I was honestly channeling into it while you were telling me because I needed to know. I feel like she passed away because of naivety. Like I feel like that was like the purpose in the way that I feel like you know how everyone has a purpose in terms of usually when they pass away so young. That's more of what I mean. Because she was only 19 in 2020. I was like 19 in 2020, bro. Like we probably were born the same year, which is insane. But I feel like she was pretty naive and I feel like she was very stubborn as well. And I kind of feel like she wouldn't take no for an answer. And I feel like
Oh
when
yeah.
she felt like in this case, I feel like she felt like she could handle such a thing, but the actuality of it is that she wasn't protected enough in the way that she didn't believe in her protection enough. Like when you do things like this, you have to have a very strong background, a very strong protection circle. Like you have to have a lot of, again, protection around you because that's what keeps you safe for real. Because if you don't, then you're like an open field. And I feel like what must have happened to her, in my honest opinion, is I think that this spirit did overcome her. I do believe that death by spirits is possible. That is definitely possible. I mean, I've seen very close case scenarios with people who almost passed away because of a spirit's, attempt. But the thing with that is that in order for a spirit to actually be able to do something like that to you, you have to be very spiritually vulnerable. And I feel like this girl was very vulnerable and well, initially already very vulnerable, but then on top of that, also getting herself involved into something that she did not know about that's considered and deemed very powerful in general. You know what I'm saying? Like again, like you stated with voodoo, you don't just fly into it thinking you can handle it if you don't have the appropriate measures to be able to withhold and withstand such a practice. So I feel like for her, it definitely was something that she learned a lesson from. I feel like now I know that I feel like she's okay. Like I feel like, she's not like damned or anything like that. I feel like she's definitely okay, but I feel like this was an enormous lesson for her and her soul to understand what, like to be careful, basically to be understanding about what you're doing and what you're choosing to get yourself into, and basically the kind of energy you want to put out there, because her reason for getting into this was to hurt somebody. And that right there is already like a big thumbs down. You don't,
What did we say earlier? No trifling bitches. That's
yes,
what we
exactly.
said.
Just you don't ever go into, you don't ever do something with bad intention, because initially speaking, it's always going to backfire, whether it's spiritual or not. If you rob a bank, like you're not going to get away with that forever. You feel me? If you do, like it's not going to last. I feel like everything comes full circle. And I just feel like for her, it was a very speedy thing because she chose to really get herself involved into something that was not meant for her, or like something that she was not knowledgeable enough about. Like I really feel like it had a lot to do with these other factors, but the end case scenario is definitely an enormous lesson for her soul. But again, I do feel like she's okay. And I feel like I honestly, I'm gonna just put it out there. I feel like what I saw is that she reincarnated in 2024. So I think that's very interesting. So that would make her like a baby right now, basically. But yeah, I feel like she's a boy though, is what I see. But that's besides the point. That's something I always pick things up like that. Whenever I want to know things like this, I just channel it and I see into what it is. I've seen a lot of stuff where people who pass away, sometimes they're not ready to come back. So it'll take them like years and years and years. But I feel like for her, she was kind of like healing, healing, and then she was like, I'm ready. But I feel like coming back this time, she's way smarter, way smarter. I feel like very careful. But yeah, that's something that's definitely crazy. But it's very real. Like I've seen it. I know it's real. It's insane, but it's not insane because it's real.